Hi, everybody.
Hey everyone, welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Mr. O.
and me, Banshee. Welcome for our monthly modality message. And let's just say right off the bat, happy birthday to Capricorns.
So what is the monthly modality message? It's a reading we do once a month when the sun enters a new sign. So as you can see, we're entering Capricorn. And the reading is about the astrological modalities, cardinals, fixed, and mutables, what they do and how you can work with your energies. If you're a cardinal sign, then you are Aries, Cancer, Libra, or Capricorn. If you're fixed, you're Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, or Taurus. And if you're mutable, Sagittarius, Pisces, Gemini, and Virgo. So we have devised this reading to kind of give you the ideas of what you most need to know about, what you most need to do or can do for the month ahead, based on what your modality mostly conditions you to do.
And as always, we start with the cardinal signs. No, the cardinal signs. I should put this here so you can see it. So they're the movers and shakers. We get things going. We start things up. We are the starters of the, zodiac.
In terms of a monthly forecast, they're the ones that usually create patterns, energy, situations, and then they move forward from there.
All right. So cardinal signs, card 1. What changes will you initiate in this month? It's the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is reversed. So the changes you're going to initiate this month may involve, I think it involves maybe tending to some of the smaller details, the smaller things in life. Maybe also this is often a card of celebration and enjoyment, but maybe on a smaller scale, enjoying the simpler things in life, simplifying things a little bit and relaxing, taking a load off.
Well, the Four of Wands is the TFT unofficial party card. So everything Banshee said, but I think especially what she said is the idea that this diminishment of being reversed, it's not major, but it is saying that maybe it's a little bit at a lesser subdued level. And, right now we're talking about, a lot of things going on with the COVID new virus is resurging. So it may be a good time to, kind of
simplify and, lay low. I feel that, we are the ones that, cardinal signs are the ones that get things started. But, maybe this is saying right now to just make it simple. Don't make any big kind of plans or initiate any kind of big projects at this time.
In the doing of that, it's kind of like modeling behavior too, so that the cardinal signs are modeling the behavior for the rest of us too. Simplify.
How will you nurture or cultivate your goals, desires, or relationships? Ooh, judgment reversed. How about not being too critical? The best way to cultivate your goals, and this goes for you, cardinal signs, don't prejudge yourself, don't be too hard on yourself. And also in that same context, because it's also about nurturing your relationships with others, don't be too judgmental on them at this time.
I think there's also the idea there with judgment reverse that this may be saying that this is more about more practical, possibly mundane matters rather than spiritual matters. And so this is saying that you will focus or nurture these things because you will see them as that parts of the fabric of your actual life, not something that you're just thinking about or wishing for.
I like that. How can you gain cooperation or support from others during this period? Oh my goodness, it's the Emperor. Well, you rule, but you rule with heart. You rule with a benevolent spirit in a way, understanding that the decisions you make and the things that you do and how they affect others, you are a fair emperor, you are a just emperor, and you are looking out for others.
I think that the Emperor card kind of exemplifies the idea of really an honest partner, somebody who really does have that sense of wanting. And also too, this just came to me just now too, there's a concept about the consent of the governed, the idea that people respect the person who needs to be in charge of them. And so this is saying really that that's really what you do, is exemplify that idea,
And of course, this is about how you gain cooperation from others. As Aries, the Emperor card, by the way, so it's interesting. It's in the cardinal sign here, but or reading here. The thing is, rule with heart. You can gain cooperation from others if they really do feel the decisions and the things that you are putting in place do have their interests at heart.
They give you consent.
They'll be glad to give you support then. So how can your talents and resources be best put to use? Wow. See, Ace of Swords, Mr. O.
Well, I think this is saying really take the plunge and lead. This is telling you to lead. Cardinal signs, really, it's very powerful for the cardinal signs because you're all very dynamic signs of the zodiac in your own way. You may not have the exact same focus or outlet, but this is saying this is time to kind of lead.
And I really feel that this is talking a lot about business and work, maybe more than anything. That's just my feeling. Because also, let's look at this too. This is the cardinal signs. And of course, Capricorn, as well as Aries, is a cardinal sign. And we are in the sun sign of Capricorn right now, which is about business and success, right?
So I guess we should just turn over the running of the world to the cardinals. I'm good. Good.
All right. So let's recap this real quickly. We have here, in the beginning, what changes should you initiate? Take small steps. Take it slow. Maybe that also will help people gain people's cooperation. Simplify. Is not to make any big maneuvers at this time, particularly since the world is so volatile right now with the resurgence of COVID, like Mr. O had pointed out.
How will you nurture goals and relationships? Well, I think this is saying focus on the practical things and maybe not the theoretical pie in the sky things.
Yeah. And how will you gain cooperation or support from others? Well, I think it's by taking charge, but leading with heart and making sure people will buy in more easily with you if they are assured that you are doing it with everybody's best interests at heart.
Being respectful of they're wanting to respect you as being their leader, showing them that.
And I guess I didn't comment much on the Ace of Swords now that I think about it, but how can my talent and resources best be put to use? By leading, by being the leader. I think Mr. O is right here, and taking charge. And of course, with the Ace of Swords, it indicates victories in sight.
It does, and I think it's saying too that really what's in your toolbox really are those resources that it mentions. So you just have to make sure you have them there and you know how to use them.
You go first.
All
awesome reading. Cardinal signs, looking good.
So now we are on to the fixed signs.
The fixed signs, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Taurus.
And fixed signs tend to hold, monitor,
balance, stabilize things.
Energies and forces and situations. So their role is kind of next in line to what's going on with cardinals, and then to be followed up by what the mutables do. There you go, Banshee. And if you're enjoying our reading here, don't forget we're having a Christmas Eve reading on Friday, Christmas Eve.
Special theme.
8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And we're going to kind of follow from the timeless classic Charles Dickens' A Christmas Tarot. It just seemed to be meant to be, eh? So check that out on Friday night at 8 p.m.
All right, I'm sorry, I'm taking my time here with the fixed signs.
Just fix it, okay?
Just fix it. Very funny. Very punny, Mr. O.
Alrighty.
All right. Okay, so What are the qualities you need to display in order to make a positive impression on others, fixed signs? Oh my, it's the Six of Swords reversed. So what are the qualities you need to display in order to make a positive impression on others?
Well, sometimes it's making sure that everything is really finished before you move on, perhaps, or that there is no need to really review something.
Well, yeah, I get the feeling here that maybe it's about tidying up loose ends, being able to say that, we're not leaving anything hanging. Like, for example, this is just an example. If you're leaving a job, you're retiring or you're moving on to a new job, do you want to leave a mess for the next person coming in your place? Well, I suppose maybe if you don't like your workplace, you might want to, but what really would make a great impression on others is that you clean up after yourself, you tidy up. And so I feel like there's a need to tidy up loose ends here, and people, in other regards, and people will feel real good about that.
Absolutely.
So, what can you share with others or allow others to share with you this month?
It's the Queen of Swords reversed. And I think this is maybe saying sometimes you do have to pull up your big boy or big girl underwear or britches or whatever you call them and make the hard decisions. Sometimes you have to make decisions that maybe other people don't want to make or other people don't feel comfortable making. And maybe there's a sense that, it's going to be a bad decision. It's going to be a hard decision. Somebody's going to be hurt. But sometimes it does need to be done. And this card does not talk about being a mean person or being an unfair person. It mostly talks about making the right call when necessary.
Well, so what can you share with others or allow others to share with you?
What I just said, the idea that, sometimes it's okay to make the hard calls.
Sometimes I think that the Queen of Swords is about that, but also I feel that people will respect you more if you admit you don't have all the answers. You may need their support in making the decision, actually. So I feel that maybe you ought to share the decision making with others, because if it looks like you control everything, that might turn people off. I'm kind of getting that impression. When
I like that. And you know why I like that, Banshee? Because
Mm-hmm.
I think that sometimes the Queen of Swords reversed is really talking about a person who just has to make a decision regardless. And I just feel it's about that the idea is
I agree with you. I saw that.
But I hear what you're saying, though. There's an idea here that maybe there's not true information, and yet that's why I see that sometimes you do have to make a decision without knowing everything.
It's about power sharing.
Yeah,
it's about
I
not
agree.
just that, collective and cooperative decision making. And I feel like that's what, since we're talking about sharing here, I think that's why it fits.
I think I like that.
Thank you. So what role will your connections or the connections you make, your friends, family, associates, intimate partners, play in this cycle?
And it's the Seven of Pentacles reversed.
Wow, they're putting you back to work. They feel more work needs to be done. Maybe ultimately, with this decision making, what'll come out of it is maybe we have to go back to the drawing board on some of this, and maybe that ties right back into that.
That's interesting. You'll have to expand on that more, but I think that is really something going on there that really, it is really about maybe just getting down there with the rest of everybody and doing the same things, not setting yourself above them, but saying, I am a part of you too, and whatever's bringing us up, it's bringing us all up.
Right. In order to grow, we either grow or we die together, because this is about planting, crops being planted. We're either going to grow the crops or they're going to fail.
And it talks about how you're involved with others on this, because no person is an island.
How will you be able to achieve a balance between work and pleasure in this cycle with all this craziness going on? Well, I'll tell you, it's not going to be easy. We have the Eight of Swords here, Mr. O upright.
Yes, and so to me, what I think that would be saying is that sometimes, it's better to just maybe hold the ground and not necessarily give everything away. I mean, this could be about a feint of sorts, the feint idea, FEINT, that you may be playing a role, that maybe this is really just about standing in position and waiting for the moment for when it is right for you to step forward and say, oh, by the way, I see this and I can do this.
Remember, that's achieving a balance between work and pleasure. And I feel here that you feel a little tied down, by self-doubts and maybe the fact that, again, I can see in a way how this plays into the other cards. But on the other hand, if this is about achieving a balance, the way you're going to be able to do it is by doing what we said here, sharing some of the decision making. In other words, I feel like you're going to take no pleasure in this month. You're going to stress out if you carry the weight of this decision making on your shoulders. You need to share that load with others because it is affecting your personal life as well as your business life.
So in a sense, this could be saying that what you're sharing is the idea that you can't do it alone and without resources or any other assistance, because that's usually what's implied with the Eight of Swords. And so making that clear to others you have to work with.
So, there's ways we can apply this to the personal world as well. As we go back here, let's examine this. Let's do this. It's a very interesting reading this time because I think a lot of the cards click. So what are the qualities you need to display to make an impression on others? I feel that take it easy, tidy up some loose ends. There's no need to push forward if there's still things lingering from the past that need to be addressed. And that goes in your business or your personal life because, let's say there's some baggage from an old relationship that hasn't been dealt with. You can't move forward into a new relationship until you take care of it.
This is very good.
Yeah. So, all right. What can you share or allow others to share with you? I feel it's the decision making. You really need to share with them that you can't make this decision on your own. Whatever it is, if it's in a relationship, if it's in a family crisis, if it's in a work-related thing, you want a team effort. You want everybody's voice to be heard and involved.
Agreed.
Gosh, you're letting me go. What role will my connections or the connections you make with others play?
Okay, it's the Seven of Pentacles reversed, and the role of the connections or connections I make, really, to me, it's suggesting not staying behind, but moving ahead.
Moving ahead and getting back to work.
Getting back to work, but we're talking about maybe partnerships, so maybe It's also about really looking at persons that maybe you hadn't thought were moving along with you and realizing that there are potentials for you to work as a team in some way.
Yes. So that's it. Working on how you work together in your relationships with others, whether it's business or pleasure. And speaking of pleasure, we have that final card here, how to achieve a balance between work and pleasure. And I really feel because the way the cards are all connecting, it's by saying, look at it, we'll all feel better in every aspect of our lives if we work together on this.
Right. No man is an island, which is what I said, that if somebody feels they're barricaded or trapped, they're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
so
nice.
Don't let your self-doubts hold you back here either. That's another way. Allow yourself to let some of the stresses and things that might be holding you back go.
So then finally we're on to the beautiful mutable. The Sagittarians, Pisces, Geminis, and Virgos of the Zodiac. Mutables tend to be the ones who change things, alter them, and prepare them to be reinvigorated in the next cycle.
I always feel you mutables are like rubber bands.
There you go.
You stretch, you close in, you're flexible. Unless you get too, dried out, and then you break. No, you guys are very, very flexible. I was merely kidding there. Getting a little frog in my throat. Okay. The first card is, how will you need to shift your perspective during this cycle? King of Pentacles reversed.
Well, perhaps you've been feeling not interested in advancing yourself material-wise. Perhaps you've been feeling like things are slower in those regards. So you need to take note of that and figure out what are the keys to maybe turning that around, to finding the ways to advance your agendas. Maybe some of this is really about getting good business information from a business person, which the King of Pentacles can sometimes
upright be.
In upright, right.
So I feel here you're right. You may not have the knowledge and maybe should seek out a mentor, but I also think here with this, how should you shift your perspective? Clearly, you need to shift from being kind of lackadaisical about your financials and your material world, maybe your work life right now, and get back in gear, get back on track, restore order to your universe. Maybe you've let a lot of paperwork pile up. Maybe you've not attended to certain bills you should have been tending to. So this is a time to straighten it all out.
Yeah, part of that shifting of perspective really could be about where you see yourself from a security point of view too, meaning overall, not just money, but also, security in other ways.
Yeah, I like that. How are others' emotions affecting you?
And it's the Five of Wands reversed. So it may feel that other people feel too combative to you, too competitive. You may feel that sometimes you don't want to engage with them because of that, or that maybe there's communication problems, that some people have more hot tempers and don't communicate well when they're feeling that way. Something like that.
Some of the fives Mr. O and I disagree on, but today I am sort of seeing that with this card. I feel as though how others' emotions are affecting you in this cycle is that their emotions make you kind of want to give up or walk away and just say, I've had enough of this. You guys duke it out, you guys fight it out, and I'm just walking away. So this could be in your personal life. This could be in your business world. There's only so far you can walk unless you're quitting a job, which I wouldn't recommend. Well, you could. You could if you have another opportunity, and hiring is pretty good right now, but I'd be careful about that.
It is also possible that some of this emotionally makes you feel a little less confident sometimes, or when you're dealing with those kind of people. Just a thought.
So what do you need to know or find out to better position yourself for success? Ooh.
Ten of Swords reversed.
The Ten of Swords reversed. Go ahead, I'll let you go this time because...
Well, I think sometimes you have to accept the fact that things can drastically change, and that maybe what you thought was really oppressive or against you can literally change overnight or very quickly. This may not exactly be the case, but I think this indicates that that if you understand that sometimes it's about capitalizing on the opportunities that present when certain factors happen and when things kind of go to dust there. So the thing is mostly to maintain an even keel, I think, and not look like you're over ambitious or over trying to capitalize on somebody else's pain or bad luck.
Well, I feel as though what you need to do to better position yourself for success is how to successfully move forward after some upsets or disagreements or disappointments. It may tie into that Five of Wands here. You're ready to throw, others' emotions may be kind of all over the place and you're ready to walk away. But maybe this is saying, how do you navigate situations like this without walking away? Or how do you move on from there? How do you move forward from there? How do you pick up the pieces and move on?
Important.
What kind of adjustments will you need to make this month in order to be more effective and achieve success? Oh.
And it's the Three of Wands reversed. So I think that this could be saying that you may have to understand sometimes that delays happen, that maybe strategies do have to be reconsidered or changed, reviewed. This could be saying mostly that you just need to be patient in most ways.
Right, patience and not, I sort of feel with the Three of Wands reversed, it's kind of like focus on the present. Don't focus on future things. Focus on what you need to do now to set things right and to achieve success. Don't think about the future. It's really interesting because in some ways this is a very mutable reading.
Yeah, and it kind of rolled off of me
in a way, because there's a lot of having to bend and flex here, or decide if you're staying, if you're going, so be incredibly flexible in this period ahead, I would say, mutables. Let's go forward and look at this in total again. So how will you need to shift your perspective during this cycle? Was it
reverse King of Pentacles?
It was the King of Pentacles. And so basically you have to mutate yourself, mutable, mutate yourself from a lackadaisical person into somebody who is now taking the bull by the horns, organizing things. Don't let things fall through the cracks because you've got your eye off the prize, whatever that prize may be.
You may have to consider that you do need a mentor or some sort of advice for true business matters.
How are others' emotions affecting you? Well, the Five of Wands is reversed there, and I feel as though others are making you feel like you're ready to give up and throw in the towel. You're just kind of like, I'm done arguing with people. I'm done trying to set the agenda or, explain myself, explain the disorder in my universe. And you just kind of want to walk away.
You don't want overly competitive people or people who really don't have some honest partnership in mutual goals to be there. If they're really not honest partners, why are they there?
So what do you need to know or find out to better position yourself for success? Well, it's how you move forward from, this kind of tension that seems to be in the air here a little bit. How do you move forward after you've kind of made a little bit of a mess of things and other people may be overreacting to them, or you're having difficulties in working with them? And so it's saying here, how do you move forward from here? How do you pick up the pieces? What's done is done. So how do you move forward?
And it may very well be that basically you're moving over from a brand new position, that basically all of that has left you and you have to start fresh.
And so what kind of adjustments will you need to make this month in order to achieve success and be more effective? Well, I think it's really focusing on the here and now. Sometimes the Three of Wands is saying, hey, let's project forward. Let's plan ahead. I think this is saying, let's work out what's wrong now and take care of business.
Absolutely. This really is a card of saying, there's been delays, there's been things that have to be reconsidered, but we can't put it off anymore. We really have to think about doing it now.
So that's what we have for you, mutables. Good luck with your month ahead.
And that pretty much concludes our monthly modality message. We will be back in about another
4 weeks.
4 weeks or so to do the next one, which will be the sun moving into Aquarius.
Right, it'll be Aquarius's birthday time. So stay tuned for that reading. There may be some changes up and coming. I've been saying this for some time, and I'm still working on this reading. So we may be changing it for the new year. Stay tuned for that.
So once again, happy holidays to everyone. I know there's been a whole caboodle of them. We had Hanukkah earlier. We are having solstice now.
We're going into the Christmas. Yes, by the way, it's not just Capricorn birthday. It's blessed solstice. So we want to wish everybody a happy blessed solstice and Christmas. Merry, Merry Christmas.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa.
Happy New Year's.
Oh my gosh. Can't keep up. And of course, we wish you all the best and brightest of New Year's. Let's kick this COVID to the curb finally and move forward. Woohoo!
So thank you everybody for watching.
Take care, everybody, and we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.